Hello, everyone. This is Foxcat, and I have something interesting, sort of an update to talk about. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. Why I'm doing this on phone? I try to do this on computer. My computer's acting up. I'm not in the legal spot as well, which might be the case. It needs to be super close to the internet, apparently. And I'm in my room right now, which weirdly does have internet connection, but also don't at the same time. It's weird. And right now, my roommate's in his other room, so I need some more concentration here. Um, but this will be a very quick update because I kind of do want to make a discussion about it. And this is an update towards, as you can tell, the ARC system leak, or I like to call it the Guilty Gear leak, which has gotten so worse that not only what you have already read on screen is happening, but something bad has also happened that is also concerning, which many have already heard about already. Which I'm not going to get into the details of that. I'm just going to get into the consequences with that. Um, but for context, if you haven't seen the previous video or have been living under a rock all your life here, Guilty Gear Strive's game data and coding was leaked to the online thing, and I already make a whole video on that. The main ending point is I'm okay in some cases with leaks, but not all the way. And this is one of those leaks that is not okay. Like if it was like a character leak and that was it, that would be fine. But this is a whole total disaster, and yeah, this is a brand new one. I'm not gonna read everything on here. I'm just gonna summarize what I read here. This is on r/Guilty Gear, a subreddit of, I guess, Guilty Gear fans. Yeah, weirdly enough, there's literally now malware being made because again the source code been leaked, so now malware is going into this game. Now it's clear. I think it needs to be clarified, although I don't really know, but I do need to make this crystal clear. Especially the I don't know part, but I think it's probably is crystal clear. But just to say, I think this is just the PC version of Guilty Gear Strive, because yes, weirdly enough, in our modern age, they still make PC games. Apparently, they still make PC games for our PC. These game companies, but yes, this is in fact probably for the computer, which makes sense. This is also where most of the leaks are going to truly happen. Computer is the most freelance when it comes to modding and all that. It's especially when computer has all these programs that you throw into this. And this is kind of concerning because, again, I need to make it crystal clear, but the reason why I'm making it crystal clear about the whole where this is probably coming from the most is who knows if it will affect other consoles. And of course, the obvious answer should be truly no, especially like Nintendo Switch. I don't think it's going to affect Nintendo Switch for the most part. And I only say that because that's the only version I have. Yes, I know I've been suffering along with the rest for Venom coming out because they haven't really come out yet. They haven't even updated that thing, but that's not the point. The point is, it's unknown, but I don't think Nintendo nor Microsoft or Sony will allow this. But, you know, you never know. This is a very bad situation. However, it gets even more fun. Because you probably haven't heard that one, but you have heard this one, which, yes, I know it's the AI overview, but at this point, I don't want to pull up a freaking, ad or, pull up a freaking newsletter. You already heard about this anyways, so be mindful. And of course, I am going to give you the super clip note version of this. But the reason why is because the issue isn't just the info itself, which is the fact that thanks to the recent Guilty Gear leak, which I call it, but kudos or what you want to say, that's up to you. Apparently, because of that, it also leaked Nintendo Switch stuff that was supposed to be Nintendo Switch 2 stuff. Excuse me, try to talk fast here. that was supposed to be under the radar. And not only that, but yeah, it basically just confirms how the whole other mechanisms work with this thing. Again, I'm not going to get into it because I'm giving you a clip note version. Um, and it's really that bad. You can look it up. There's freaking Chlamydia from Fire and Fates. I don't give a fuck right now. Yeah, this is bad, and it's not because, it's already dividing people more so on the Switch 2, which is a whole kind of big fat can of worms I don't want to dumpster dive into again. In fact, I kind of stopped because that whole thing is now like old news. It's like a broken record. However, the reason why this is a big problem is because of that big giant can of worms. For context, Nintendo hates that big giant can of worms. It's no secret that is the case. And yes, I know I'm probably going a little bit extreme here what I'm about to say, but this is kind of a serious situation. So bear with me, especially if it goes a little bit extreme, which I do apologize. But this does look bad. This looks bad for Arc Systems because this makes it look like Nintendo may no longer want to work with them if this leak happens. Because again, Nintendo does not want this right now. They're already got bad press already from people dogging on them for depends on the reasons. The best way to put it nicely. But adding the bonus of a leak that they came from them and came from Arc System, that could also, by the way, again, it's a prediction, but hopefully it's like 1% sure it's going to happen. Hopefully, they could jokingly hack the Switch 1 right now with the goddamn whole game thing. And of course, them revealing information they're trying to keep wraps because they know people are absolutely laser focused on it to the point where it's like snipers off the rooftops. Yeah, basically, this looks back to the point where Nintendo will no longer want to work with Arc System. I know I'm jumping the bullet on that. I need to repeat that, and I do apologize for that. But it really does look like that, and I'm shocked that no one had brought this up. Granted, I get why, because it's a very weird situation. I mean, especially when you also do the math that many people apparently don't know what Arc System is, I guess, jokingly speaking. Keyword joke, because basically every video game news channel I watched so far, which is Spawnwave and Good Vibes Gaming alongside a few others, they have not truly mentioned about this leak. They didn't even do a full news story about this leak like many other people have. Personally, I partially get why, because Guilty Gear isn't, I don't know if it's that big of a franchise, but you would think that this would be kind of a big deal or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it's because also they're more, especially Good Vibes Gaming. I don't know about Spawnwave, but I do know Good Vibes Gaming is more focused on Nintendo stuff, to say the least, or something related to it. But I don't know. You shoot me on that as well. But I feel like this is kind of a big issue that needs to be covered in general because this looks bad. This has many bad problems, and the biggest one that I feel like many do not get is the fact that this could ruin the relationship with Arc System and Nintendo. It's a miracle we even have Guilty Gear Strive on the Switch, to say the least. And look, I know people hates that game more than ever, but hey, at least we got support from them in general, even outside of that. Like, I think some of their other more modern games were put on the Switch 2 before Guilty Gear Strive. And I say that because most of the time, as many would point out, Arc System seems to be more of a Xbox and PlayStation kind of game company that goes through it first. That's why Nintendo jokingly probably got the last, other than the fact that they probably need Magic to put that thing on there. Or the Magic is, because they didn't use it again to put Venom and all the other DLC on Switch, jokingly speaking. But yeah, this is a very wonky situation. That's super wonky and just wonky. It's a very messed up situation. Like I said, this is exactly what I was talking about in the previous video. It's gonna fuck up a lot of people in more ways than one, and not just the normal gaming people. Which, P.S., I do agree with that Reddit warning, which honestly shouldn't be even said, because really, yes, do not download this stuff at all. It's even bad enough that people are already cheating now because they're now practicing with Yuka, or how the fuck you say that upcoming character girl. I don't know her name that good, but the fact that they're now playing that character, meaning they're gonna break the whole tier list of that goddamn thing, or the ranking system or whatever. And God forbid if it hits on Switch, maybe it's a good thing that the season 3 is delayed on Switch, because god damn it, I don't think many people are ready for that. But it's a tricky situation. It's a very oofy situation. And again, it seems like Arc System hasn't responded yet. I haven't seen how they respond. I've been checking their website because I've been looking for Venom, of course. I want Venom in the game alongside the DLC thing for personal reasons. That being the fact that I got to save my money up for other stuff on the Switch. I still got Pokemon Home bill due to next month, if you're wondering. But I'm still saving it for that DLC. Not to mention, I got the focus also on Pokemon ZA. But I really do wish they put that DLC so I don't have to look at it. But so far, again, it's best for them not to mention it now. But we'll have to see, to say the least. Like, at sooner or later, I do agree they have to mention it. They can definitely have all the time in the world if they need to. I don't care, but they do have to respond sooner or later. But yeah, it's a very tricky situation. Really, it's just a messed up situation, honestly. Um, but again, do be careful with that whole download thing, because even without that, it's still grimy and gross, honestly. And it really feels bad for those players who are playing nicely and actually are waiting for that character. Luckily, we don't have to wait too long, because she's actually going to come out the end of this month, which makes sense. End of spring, they said that already. But it really just sucks, and it doesn't help that due to them having the game code, they can now leak out the other character and do as well. Basically, it's a whole can of worms. But as you can tell, I will try to keep updated for these news, because hey, I don't have anything else to do that much. So hey, since we're in this together, I'm gonna try to cover this Guilty Gear thing. But anyways, this has been Flosscat, snapping out of here. Bye bye.